The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Tell us things they used to do. Tell us how they used to groove and ding. Do the sounds of Rick and Skip.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, Easy Car Sales, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, Kelly's Home Center, KFC, Muffler World, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Prince Masters, and Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited.
We're going down with all them songs then. I still just want to jump around and sing songs by ancient man and things. Some of the greatest stories ever told was on a Rick and Scrappy. No, some was told by Gino D. I grew up on Kid. I grew up on Ron. I grew up on I. Grew up on
We've got it locked and loaded to the Monday, December 15th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with Mary Jane and your company right up until 6 p.m. on this Monday edition. And we got lots to talk about. Christmas right around the corner, 10 days away from the day. And I tell you, I'm excited because what I love about Christmas time with MJ and the boys, my family, is always the Christmas spirit. MJ makes sure we get into Christmas. I'm looking forward to it. And finally, I got one more string of lights. One more ladder to climb.
The point is the tree still isn't. It's not done yet.
Well, no.
It's not ready.
It's ready. You just said add
ready.
one more string.
What is the timeline on this tree?
The tree was finished.
What's the timeline? Because we need timelines.
In my opinion, the tree was finished pre-kickoff on Sunday.
So you're done then?
Pretty much. And it looked better than that monstrosity in Rawson Square.
That is not bad. I gave that a 7 out of 10, actually. I mean, let's be honest. We've seen worse.
Okay, we have.
We have seen worse.
I'll agree with you, the 7 on the 10
seen
out of 10.
Negative 2s.
But, too many balls on that Christmas tree.
Yeah, but it's all coordinated, so I think it's pretty good. Yeah, it's fine.
So one more string
it's fine.
And be good to go.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. But we got lots to talk about, and we want you to chime in today. If you want to be part of the conversation, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC, 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence, 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free in any one of the family islands, 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go, GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. And like I said, we got lots to talk about heading into the Christmas. Now, what we have to talk about makes it seem like the Grinch coming to steal Christmas for some people. And maybe even for the entire Bahamas. Part of the conversation today, folks, obviously has to be the headlines.
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
Okay. Here's what's blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian News and Views in Madison since 1844. All brought to you, of course, by Fine Threads. And you know Fine Threads has the 12 days of Christmas. So you don't want to miss out on that. Savings galore leading right up to Christmas. And today, they have 20% off of suits. Today is the 15th, day number 4. 20% off all suits at Fine Thread locations. So on your way home today, Fine Threads, Top of the Hill, Mackey Street, the flagship store, or the Southwest Shopping Plaza location. Both of those locations open for you 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And you want to take advantage of that 20% off suits. All right? Now, not the suit packages, just the suits. If you're going to add the shirt and the tie, that's accessories. But keep on listening out for that because they're going to have, more days of Christmas coming up. But if you want 20% off suits, you need to check them out at both locations of Fine Threads, all right? Now, looking at the headlines. It's hard for me to read this without saying bold. Anyway. Worries grow on Grand Lucayan. Government still paying property expenses. Workers not paid.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Amid growing questions and concerns on the status of the Davis administration's deal with U.S.-based real estate resort developer Concord Wilshire for the sale and $827 million redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort, the remaining employees of the Freeport property have once again been advised that their salaries will be delayed. The Nassau Guardian understands that those employees deemed essential to maintaining the property are working mainly 2 days a week. There is no activity at the resort, which has been fully shut down.
This is this is most unfortunate.
And now, 10 days before Christmas, they're informed you ain't getting paid.
Well, not that they're not getting paid, but they don't have a timeline on when they're getting paid, and certain, expected paydays have already been missed, and no one is saying exactly when
But if I
they're
don't know
going to be paid.
my timeline to get paid, if I was supposed to get paid on the 5th and then on the 12th, and I haven't been paid, and there has no been notification saying when I'm going to get paid, I'm not getting paid.
Yes, you're not getting paid in the very temporal sense, which is that, particularly for the past two timelines, that's crazy.
But that's how people are looking at this time of year. They're
course.
hungry. They want to do stuff for Christmas. They want to provide for their family like everybody else is doing.
And it's the 15th of December.
Come on, it's ridiculous.
It's the 15th of December. Who owns the Grand Lucayan at this moment in time?
I have no idea.
This
and don't
moment
ask
in
Chester
time,
Cooper either, because you didn't get a straight answer from him.
Does Concord Wilshire own the Grand Lucayan, or does the holding vehicle, I guess, the hotel corporation, I think it was, the vehicle that they set up the government set up to take
special,
to take over the Grand Lucayan. So we'll just say government, or does the government, the people of the Bahamas, do we still own the Grand Lucayan, or does Concord Wilshire own the Grand Lucayan? I remember being told a sale,
$122 million,
was executed.
And then I also we also heard that the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Chester Cooper, say that well, I'm not going to say anything until the money's in the bank. Well, you ain't saying nothing now, so back to square one. Where the money?
He has said something, and you're right. He did go on the record and say that he wouldn't say anything, and then that was in September of last year.
Right.
And then in May of this year, he had a lot to say. He used the word sale, not prospective sale, not possible sale. I mean, they had a big to-do down in Freeport, and it was sale.
And this might be the only history, in the history of sales, this may be the only sale that is actually considered a sale with no money transferring hands.
We don't even know what's happening. And more disturbing now is there seems to be this kind of environment of passing the buck, as in, I'm not answering questions, direct that to the office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Finance. At least that's what the Deputy Prime Minister said. And the Prime Minister, his follow-up about, these things take time. I mean, this is a total about-face, when you compare it to what we heard
from Mr.
earlier
Cooper.
this year. Yeah, from the Deputy Prime Minister.
I will repeat one more time. I will make no statement on Grand Lucayan until the money is in the bank. So if you don't hear a statement from me, that means the money ain't in the bank yet. Today we are standing on the edge of real tangible progress. And I want, therefore, to congratulate, firstly, Prime Minister Davis for his focused, progressive, and brave leadership. And may I also congratulate you, Mr. Sarang, and your family and your partners for your vision, your boldness, and confidence in this resort, and in Grand Bahama Island, and in the Bahamas. I assure you that your confidence is well placed. The sale and redevelopment of the Grand Lucayan Resort is a strategic move that sets the foundation for long-term economic growth and revitalization.
So, yeah, no prospective sale, not will be, but is. I'm really trying to figure out what's happening right now.
Well, according to Mr.
with
Cooper,
the Grand Lucayan.
the Chester talk or the Chester speak, he wasn't going to say anything until the money hit the bank.
And then he said a lot. He said the sale of the Grand
Then he said the
Lucayan.
sale, so where the money? That's the first question. Where is the money? Second question is, why isn't the staff being paid? Why aren't we hearing from Concord Wilshire? Because if there is a deal in place, then they should be making a statement as to when and where people are going to get paid.
There's so much confusion.
And isn't this eerily familiar to another, just an absolute failure on this administration's behalf? The Golden Yoke program. Oh, the last quarter of the year, the final quarter, we'll see eggs. We don't see no eggs. Now it's the final quarter of the year. We still don't have an answer on the Grand Lucayan. They don't care about Bahamians.
There is
and they don't care about us wondering where our money gone.
Well, I just think that based on the way this particular deal was, kind of the way that they announced this deal to the public, the way that timelines, you brought up the Golden Yoke program, keep changing. Then we were told the last quarter of this year, we're now practically out of December. I don't know what the status of that is. Based on, even the way the smuggling of migrants bill took place, where we did get some sections removed, but then upon deeper analysis, there are still some other, really, really possibly problematic clauses because, the one about emergency care and then not defining that in law. There is a level of incompetence, and I'm not going to call it malice, I'm not going to call it intentional, but there is a level of incompetence on display that should give a lot of Bahamians pause. I don't question the motivation of this administration. I'm sure they, like every other Bahamian, wants to see Grand Bahama do well. I'm sure that they want to have robust anti-smuggling laws because who wouldn't? That's a good thing, right? I'm sure that they want, some self-sufficiency in terms of food production, and eggs would be a great start. I'm sure they want that. But I think that we have now hit the point where we have to ask ourselves, is this administration capable? Is it competent? Good at giving speeches. Where's the execution?
When you look at this, okay, you got to look at the semantics and the statements that were made. Great point from the texter. According to the Guardian article, the Concord Wilshire made a down payment around the heads of agreement announcement. Now, if that is the case, how much is the down payment? Number one. Number two, the Guardian article also confirms that we are still paying the hotel employees. So why haven't they been paid? Where is the money gone?
And accepting the down payment, that kind of sort of complicates.
And I'm going to say
I
this
wish we could just say that we still own it, so therefore we are still responsible for payment. I feel like we are. It kind of sounds like we are still responsible for paying the staff. And if we are, what is delaying the payment of staff? Like, this is ridiculous. The first reports of staff not being paid on time happened in September of this year. You can pull up old articles in September where people started complaining that they weren't being paid on time. Now we're down to minimal staff working minimal days, with some as little as 2 days a week, or maybe at the most 2 days a week, and still they're not being paid on time. This is a competency issue, and I think...
and you know what else it is, too? It's an issue of gross cowardice on the behalf of this administration because they refuse to address the Bahamian people. They refuse to give a straight answer on a myriad of things that they have been flaunting and bragging about that have come to turn, in the end, to be failures, to be talks, to be smoke and mirrors. From the PM to the deputy PM to the chairman and every member of this administration, you are gross cowards. You failed to address the people who you work for. And at the end of the day, we need answers. And the fact that you don't, and you flippantly deny us answers and refuse to give us answers speaks volumes.
I think it's really troubling that we're not getting a straight response. We're getting like a dance around. If the hotel hasn't been sold yet, if you're still in the negotiation phase, say
Own
that.
it.
If the hotel was supposed to be sold under some conditions that you were having a hard time bringing to fruition, a la the airport. Like if you can't get that part done, then just say that. I think having these employees in limbo like this, having these employees that recently, I guess, were asked not to work anymore and not being paid their severance.
Own it.
I mean, that is, you're breaking labor laws. And like, there's so much happening around this deal that is very troubling. And at this point, the very least that you can do is give the Bahamian people a straight answer. Tell us what is happening with this particular development. We paid $65 million for this, right? We're carrying this hotel at a tune of $1.5 million for the past, since 27 years? Y'all can do the math on that. Even the purchase price was never going to recoup everything that we've invested in it, but we understood that jobs are on the line.
Correct.
We understood Bahamians had to work. So yes, we absorbed that cost because of course we're looking out for everyone. We're one people and we want every Bahamian to be able to feed their families. But now you tell us the hotel is sold and the minimum staff that you have there, how are they going to feed their families? And you don't think they deserve, as well as us, the taxpayers who are footing the bill for this, you don't think we deserve a straightforward explanation, not political spin, not dancing around the question, not a no comment, Mr. Deputy Prime Minister? Really?
Let me check the text lines real quick and then we'll get to the calls. Good day, Naughty and MJ. The PLP are giving out turkey and ham out in Freeport, but only the PLPs are getting it. It's happening in Pine Ridge. Ginger Moxie, please, we need help. And oh, by the way, nice game yesterday. Now listen, Tex, if you've been sarcastic about my Cowboys, I hope you don't get no turkey, no ham, no corned beef, no can of tuna. But if you were just being jokey, I understand. I don't want you to be without.
They say only PLPs are that doesn't sound right. I mean,
and speaking of only PLPs,
how would that even work? Like you have a bunch of people show up and then you're very selected. Like that's not even good politics. So I don't know that. Yeah.
And again,
not that I disbelieve you, Texter, but it just doesn't sound like the normal way a politician, 6 months or less out from an election would act. But, I stand to be corrected.
And this makes one scratch one head because this is eerily reminiscent of when Dr. Darville was Minister of Freeport and Michelle Reckley was in her capacity down there. Only PRP's got. And that was the big cry.
Allegedly. And we don't, I mean, people will feel how they feel, and they would know more about what's happening on the ground than we would. But I would hope that something like that isn't happening. And that goes for, all the parties. We have a lot of the MPs having these Christmas events. You should be distributing whatever it is you're giving out
balanced
equally to all of your constituents.
And if you come in and want to do like your roof repairs or your flood damage repairs, and you feel you're doing it for the court potential voters, do everybody because you don't know who could potentially vote for you. But I want to. Did Miss Reckley go to court yet?
I have no idea what's happening on that situation.
Talking heads. Talking heads.
Yeah, good afternoon, Naughty and MJ.
Hi.
What's going on, Cleaver?
Yeah, everything good. So the hotel is sold?
We have no idea. That's where we are. We have
still
no idea.
footing the bill for the employees, and we don't know if it's sold or not.
We're paying for the employees. They apparently may have paid a down payment,
but we don't know.
So we're in some sort of limbo situation. I don't know what's happening.
All buck up, go.
I believe whatever it is, they're trying to get it down to the point where some Bahamian or some crony will get it for basically nothing because they said they tried. But this is embarrassing, and it's very incompetent. It shows the high level of incompetency that we have in our parliament and who's running the country. Generally, public servants as well. But we have companies all over the world. That's what they do. They sell hotels. They move things. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And we can't hire one person. We had successive government can't sell one hotel. They're elected to the highest office in the land. Successive government can't sell one hotel. Not one.
And we have a lot of competent people, like you say, that should be able to assist in this. My goodness, you pay how much for consultants? Like nobody could consult on a big investment like this.
Over $50 million in consultancy funds. You can't sell one hotel.
This is weird.
You see, Naughty, and I keep saying it, And MJ said something very important. She talked about the high level of incompetency that we have here. But what guarantee we have that this type of governance that we've been getting over the last 50-something years will not continue? It will continue because we don't vet people who are running for public office. We wait until after, because we're blinded by the party colors, etc., perhaps contracts that were promised to us, and we stray from the real issue. and we end up electing incompetent people. Why can't we have political live debate? Why don't no one with the mic in their hand can ask these leaders these questions and demand that they do it?
I wish. I mean, we've been, advocating for debates for years now, but if they don't want to, it seems that they just won't.
You will see the high level of what you see here in governance prior to voting for these clowns if you have political live debate. But people want to hide it, they steal it, and it's just embarrassing. Quite frankly, it's just embarrassing, and it's annoying. It's becoming annoying now because you know what you're going to get when you don't vote for these people. Because if you want a job right now, MJ, you go apply for a job, you have to go through all kind of screening, interviews, etc., to test your competency levels.
Yeah.
But we allow these politicians to get elected, and then we see this high level of incompetency displayed in our face. But nothing's going to change because we're not having no debate, so I don't expect anything to change. I don't know about you guys, but nothing will change.
We can keep trying.
We can keep trying. Good stuff, Cleaver. Let's get to the other calls. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Hi, caller.
Call us back. Talking Heads.
Madam MJ.
Hi, good afternoon.
How you doing?
I am good, thank you.
Yeah, and good day, Mr. Naughty.
Good day, Mr. Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, you know how it go. Well, anyway, sorry for our cowboy yesterday. But,
God help us.
Let me just say, when they had that very expensive luncheon and presentation on national television months ago, but that $120 million check, and ain't nobody know what we collect yet, right?
Right.
I had called line, and my clerk spoke about that, and I said, look here, if they did friggin' know what they was doing from minutes time, they let hoteliers and people who operate hotels deal with when you can go buy one hotel before you buy it, and you try and put some names in here because why? If you're the government buying that hotel, then you run things, and before you pay, cut the check to what's the name of the company that sold it to them again? Hutchison Whampoa sold the place.
Yes.
On the airport.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right. This is our country, y'all in charge. But before you write that check, you get some hotel, some name brand hotel, or even you have to be the biggest name brand, and you find out a couple of them to bid how we can move this thing because Lucaya thing, the beach still there, right?
The beach is still there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beach. Still there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all I was going to do is say, yeah, and get some landscaping company to deal with that, make sure everything is in place, and take care and keep the light on. And I can have somebody then bidding, like, how you going to run this, even if you ain't going to run the whole hotel, you deal with certain sections because they got more than $1 billion to run, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, and once they would have done that before they even cut the check, you would have been renting out some rooms and stuff like that. And now talk with the monthly light bill, you wouldn't have to be worrying with that because people would have been coming in. So from minutes time, and you're talking food, but don't come here playing like you know. But hotels, if you're just trying to be politician, you're a doctor anyway. And then and you all don't know, but that let people deal with it before you cut the check. Now you have this administration with poor excuses, and they know. They know everything. Like someone said the other day, Rainy Wonder, the Minister of National Security, he's Mr. Know-It-All. But this administration, you all had the minutes time to put your things in place, what y'all going to do with this hotel. And here we are 4 years plus with your administration. You all ain't seen no COVID. You all ain't seen no, with that hurricane named Dorian.
Right.
Within this time. And you all still can't get it together. Well, you're leading us, so get it together, homeboys. You know what I mean? Just do what you got to do. And that thing with the turkey and the ham in Freeport, and y'all handing out to just PLPs, y'all let me have to call my father, brother, the permanent secretary to Ginger Moxie in a couple of minutes and let him know you all better don't try that with them Freeport people because all of them need them turkey and ham y'all giving them.
Everybody
out, okay?
does.
Man,
yes. Thank you so much.
Make that call. Good
Thank you so much.
stuff.
But particularly, he raises a good point. If this is inconsistency, if this is Ministry of Grand Bahama, I mean, really? Anyway,
let me
it's
check.
Lucayan Renewal Holdings, right? That's the government entity that has charge of the Grand Lucayan Resort. So can someone tell us what's happening, with the resort? Like, who owns it? Really simple question.
Let me get to these other. Good point, Naughty. Speaking of the Reckley case, when is her case? Here's another one. Hi, Naughty and MJ. I thought the deputy PM said the money was in the bank. Now he's saying that we, the public, will hear from him when the money lands in the bank. What the heck?
Well, in September 2024, he said he will not speak on it again until the money's in the bank. And then in May of this year, he spoke at that ceremony and said there was a sale, basically saying, or implying, inferring, the money's in the bank. They said it was sold. They gave us a figure, $120 million, but nobody wants to say if we receive that money. Now we're hearing that there may be a down payment. How much was that? It's like so much talking around it without being straight. And at this point, it's no longer cute. At this point, you need to answer the Bahamian people honestly.
I think that at this point, this administration's credibility rating is 0.
Many staff members
can't believe nothing they say.
Many staff members have been sent home. We have no idea what our liability is in terms of severance. We have no idea how much longer we're going to remain in limbo. You kept them on for a particular reason. Now you send them home. There's maintenance that has to be done. You can't let the thing run down to to rot. I mean, what is happening? Can somebody, Office of the Prime Minister, that I'm sure listens, can you guys please tell us what is happening with the Grand Lucayan? First question, has the resort been sold? Simple. We'll start with that.
All right. Oh, here's one for you. Good afternoon, Naughty, and my favorite host, talk show host, MJ. Season's greetings to you and your family. MJ, please remind Naughty to check the mailboat tomorrow, fresh from Eleuthera.
Oh, I will, Eleuthera. Oh my gosh, I'm picturing those pineapples already. Thank you so much, Eleuthera.
Naughty and MJ, Minister Moxie for the past 2 days has been issuing turkey to all residents in Pine Ridge. She has taken on the Pintard philosophy for all Bahamians from Grand Bahama Island, okay?
Good
all
stuff.
right, well, I need to find that out.
I would think so.
You're getting conflicting reports.
It doesn't make sense to just hand out to a particular group. I mean, and you're facing re-election. That just doesn't sound like something that, politically makes sense.
Caller will get you on the flip side of the break. Here's the last text, and before we get there. Naughty and MJ, it seems as if the government doesn't want to answer the questions because they are embarrassed. They spent thousands of dollars flying persons into Grand Bahama and had a concert in Port Lucaya. Plus, they ripped the opposition to shreds because they were not in attendance. Now the hotel is in a constant struggle with the lights being disconnected recently, now the water and staff not being paid. This is not progress. It definitely isn't.
So weird. I remember the chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and anyway, we'll talk more about that on the other side of the break. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be right back.
All right, hear me. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, prospero año y felicidad. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas. You try to rest. Roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers. For window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Refined style with elegant taste. Then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video. Wanna step out and look great? Then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste. Then Fine Threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of a fresh start with a personal loan at Fidelity. You could win refreshing prizes like a luxurious spa day, John Boat gift certificates, a cruise for 2, and more. Make that move to a fresh start today. Call 356-7764. Promotion ends December 19th.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
The holidays are all about traditions, the lights, the laughter, and the food you can't wait to dig into. KFC Deluxe sandwiches are the favorites that never miss a season. Bite into an extra large, juicy chicken filet with fresh lettuce, tomato, melty cheese, pickles, and creamy mayo, nestled on a buttery brioche bun. Make mealtime extra festive with the Festive Big Box for $15, featuring a KFC Deluxe sandwich and our new coconut dessert biscuit. Classic flavor, festive feel with KFC's Deluxe sandwiches. KFC, it's finger licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
We're back at you on the Monday, December 15th edition of Talking Heads. Time to get into the buzz. All brought to you, of course, by John's Shoes, Naughty and MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. John's doing big things, new arrivals right now for the entire family for Christmas. You got the formal, you got the casual, you got the athletic wear, you got the sandals, you got everything. Boys, girls, men, women, everybody covered. And the New Balance kicks off the chain. Oh, no, I caught my New Balance locally. John's.
Yep.
And I had a new location coming for John's, too. I know you excited
I
about
heard
that one.
about that, yep.
So big things popping. Big up to John's. Both locations available for you 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. John's Plaza Carmichael and the flagship store over there on Rosetta. And remember, John, serving you is a pleasure. Let's get to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
What's going on, Nutty?
Hey, what's happening?
Everything all right, man. I know you didn't have an opportunity to go into Alukai also. And so because I had the opportunity to be in Grand Bahama recently, I decided to...
Let me break it to you like this. If you have enough energy, young blood, you could go on behalf of Uncle Naughty and investigate that BS. You know, when I do...
Okay, so tell us about it. What happened when you went into the Grand Bahama?
Honey, MJ.
Hey.
The problem was what I found amazing is that, remember we sat down and we saw that grand, demolition the whole fiasco.
When
they fixed
back? Knocked the side of the building.
Honey, MJ and the rest of the Bahamas, I would have you all to know that if you go to that exact same location on the property today, there has been a beautiful wooden structure erected around that demolition.
What?
Yeah, the wooden 2x4 still up there?
Oh man,
the plywood still up?
Naughty. They have erected this wooden structure around that portion of the building that they did the dummy demolition, is what I called it.
So it's a patchwork then to cover up the mini demolition was supposedly was to be occurring.
Exactly.
More BS then. More BS. More caca de vaca, like they say.
And the media needs to see it. For you, see, me telling you about it is one thing, but Naughty, when you see this, it's like, hold on. You all went through all that dummy demolitions for what?
Don't worry.
So I was asking, okay, like the question is being asked, who owns the building?
Right.
Then? So my question is the owner of the building or the government that was the previous owner responsible for erecting this wooden structure around the demolition of this? Who's responsible? And no one can answer that question.
That's interesting. That is interesting. What about the staff down there? Because we're hearing that they're not being paid on time.
Observation, lifeguard, talk to the guy. I'm like, what are you guarding here? He's like, bro, this is what we have to do every day. You know, this is we got to come to work, and the breeze even ain't moving the water on property.
Oh my goodness!
And the lifeguard sitting there, and I can't blame the dude. You know, you got to get paid for
that's his job, right? Oh boy!
But they're only working 2 days a week. I'm understanding.
This is the state of affairs. The bartenders, there aren't no joke with Naughty. The bartenders, they get each other drunk.
Oh no!
Ain't nothing else to do. Ain't nobody else to say.
Yeah,
if you want to keep the day going, at least taste the string, girl. See if it's how we think we can do on this when we do have a guest to serve.
So there is reporting that the resort is shut down. Is that your understanding? Did you see any guests there? Was it completely empty of guests?
There was absolutely no guest there. None. None.
Oh, boy.
I searched their property up and down. No gas.
Yeah, so there's a gas essentially closed right now, but staff that's still working isn't being paid on time. This is not acceptable.
No, and the fact that this administration refuses to say anything, doesn't budge on their position on it, it's like all buck up, go take it or leave it, and we can get to you when we get to you. That's not...
My thing is, the Alukaya project was one of their crowning gems. It went from the deputy prime minister, the minister responsible for tourism, to the now prime minister saying that it's sold. And here we are today, still going around the mulberry bush with the same thing. And so, like, at what point does the game stop, man? But Annie MJ, Uncle Noddy, I just wanted to report to y'all that I've been spending my godparents' money well, and I went and did my homework.
Good, thank you, nephew.
Good stuff, nephew. Keep up the good work. Keep us posted.
Have a good one.
Have a good Christmas if we don't talk to you, but I'm sure we will.
Simple question. Who owns this resort? Who's responsible for what's happening with the staff down there? I mean, we cannot overlook that we have made a substantial investment as taxpayers in the Grand Lucayan, and to me, rightfully so. Once the decision was made to purchase it, once we put the $65 million in, then, you know, we were responsible for maintenance and so forth and so on. So
but I want the Bahamian public to notice the pattern with this administration. Let's rewind the tape. It started with Bermuda Gate out the gate. Still haven't got a concrete answer on Bermuda Gate, and how dare we ask questions about how our taxpayers' money was spent? That's number one. And then it moved to the first round of the Lucayan, and the second round and the third round of BS. And then we look at the Golden Joke program, still not one egg, only the egg on the face of this administration. And they seem to pass the buck in different ministries. With the Lucayan, it went now from tourism to finance to this to this. Look at the Golden Yoke program. It went from agriculture to BTVI to Ministry of Works to... How does this work?
Is Lucayan Renewal Holdings, is that entity still intact and functioning? I mean, there's so many simple questions. And, you know, to think that it's okay to just say, well, it's going to take some time. We were not apprised of these potential developments back in May when there was a big jubilant celebration. You know, Grand Bahamians are kind of counting on something happening, and I'm hoping in my heart that something happens.
Oh.
But the fact that we're not getting straight answers, simple questions, a very simple question. Who, at this moment in time, on December 15th, 2025, who owns the Grand Lucayan? We can't get an answer. We can't get an answer for that.
Boy,
this is too much.
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Hey, Noddy, how you doing?
What's happening? Ain't only me here today.
Hi, good afternoon.
I just about to say to you and MJ.
Don't worry about him.
I started off with how creation was, the man voice.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now don't give me no problems with that.
Now, Noddy.
Yes, sir.
There was something that Mr. Pintard said. He said that there was an air-conditioned job that was only worth 100 and some or 200,000, went up to 1 point some million.
Actually, the numbers for the basic quote for the work, the scope of the work, and the more remediation would only been about $450,000 tops. The actual contract that was actually issued for it was 1.7 million
with VAT.
With VAT. So it's a bigger divide than you thought. It's a whole heck of a lot of money, and what, where, why, when, and who needs to be answered.
But Noddy, what I don't understand is that, you know, when we weren't paying taxes, this was okay. Can we say that we can hold the PLP responsible and sue that organization for waste of money?
I do not think that is. I do not think. I mean, we'd be suing so many people. I don't think that's...
the docket wouldn't come up until the next millennium.
I don't think that's an option, you know.
Okay, but watch this, MJ. If the bank takes 100,000 of my money, can I sue the bank?
Yeah, but it's different when you look at government. I mean, we elected these persons.
Okay.
We gave them authority to spend the money the way that they're spending it. The fact that they refuse to answer questions or be accountable, now that comes back to us as the people, and what are we going to do about it?
Right, and I understand what you're saying. You're saying that the government can steal and get away with it, but the rest of us have to pay.
We're not accusing them. I'm not accusing them of stealing or malfeasance.
I worded that wrong.
Yes.
I shouldn't say you said
Yeah,
that.
I think a lot of incompetence is at play here. I don't think it's necessarily malfeasance. But I get your point that, you know, it seems like we don't have much of recourse. We have to make our voices...
borderline neglected, if you ask me.
Voices louder, you know. You have to speak up. Bahamians that speak up and say, hey, we're not okay with this, that gets public officials to move. But if everybody's quiet and mad, but be quiet, they're going to think, okay, we'll go along and to get along until election times and then come with the sweet talk. That's basically how it works in the system, you know?
MJ, these fellas are robbing the government. And then, I mean, when I say robbing the government, are robbing the people, right?
A value for their tax dollar. I will agree. Robbing us of value for our tax dollar.
Tax dollar, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're building mansions all over the place with the money.
Well, yeah.
You don't know why they're building it. I can't let you say that, but I understand.
We understand.
I understand. And I apologize. I said that.
Yeah, you're frustrated. No, you're frustrated, and a lot of people are. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Good stuff, and always glad to hear from you.
It's a rough time of year to be
Just let me get this out before I
right?
get to the next one, and I have to get this out. Every time you say that word, I have an internal laugh. I'll tell you not a word of lie. That word malfeasance.
Of the value.
No, that reminds me of the time when the moron mascot for the PLP, Dave, said the word was malfeasance.
Oh, my gosh. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller.
And
you're on Talking Heads. Hi, caller.
Noddy and MJ.
Hey.
What's going on, Jeff?
Right here.
Don't mind me laughing. Go ahead. Inside joke.
Let me address the previous call. You know, it is sad when we keep on giving these guys a blight. These guys in this place are businessmen, very successful businessmen, very successful law firms, very successful in whatever it is that they do. We have seen this playbook for quite a long time. We blame the last administration for it. We blame the administration before that administration for things, and yet we come right back to this new, apparently new day administration, and we are giving them a blight. When is this nonsense going to stop? The taxpayers' money is being spent. There's no proper accountability. There's no proper transparency. Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's been put before a committee to explain these things. We are fearful because when we start cracking the door open because who is potentially involved, it's like everybody shudders and don't want to call it for what it is. We have to stop the nonsense. These guys are not going to stop because we, the government, the Bahamian people, the government, are afraid to question our employees. We are afraid to put their feet to the fire. We are afraid to put them before the courts. We are afraid to call for a public, declaration to get these people to answer the questions that the Bahamian people are asking. So why are we so afraid of them? They are servants.
Yeah.
And this is the part that gets me really ticked off. It makes us all look incompetent. It makes us all look as if we're afraid of these people. Why? And they are our servants. Come on, man. This nonsense got to stop. We're losing millions and millions and millions of dollars of taxpayers' money. And yet no accountability, no transparency, but yet you can run a traffic light and they want to build, they want to tax you. You do something else, they want to tax you. Come on, man. These guys are our servants. And until we, as a people, in my closing statement, until we really get serious and demand, not ask, we demand that these persons who represent us, because remember that this is a national thing, but this is also international. How does the international community look at we, the Bahamian people, for letting these same things continue on and on and on? We are nothing but a bunch of mediocre jokers. We got to fix this thing. But thanks for taking my call. Yep.
Good stuff, Jeff.
Thank you so much.
And listen, I want to make a point. I've been beating up my gum about that airport and about the Grand Lucayan for the longest. And I'll be honest with you. Bahamians need to benefit from that property. Bahamians need to work and benefit from that property. Surrounding businesses need to benefit from that property. And Bahamians need the airport first. I don't care who else is affiliated with the need of an airport and so on. Bahamians first. Especially in Grand Bahama. We need to have that done for Bahamians. We were promised it. I don't care what other entities there are. It's Bahamians first. Yeah. And we need it for Bahamians.
Just on a point that Jeff mentioned just now about the disclosures, right? We were recently told that, I guess, the chairman of the Public Disclosures Committee, Bishop Victor Cooper, couldn't tell us whether or not everyone had filed their declarations like this.
But then isn't that gross incompetence on his behalf?
This is crazy. This is
like you've got one job, bro, to make sure they declare, Rev. Why can't you tell us who has declared and who hasn't declared? It's all money. I bet you know who paid their tithes and who don't pay their tithes in your church.
The deadline for filing disclosures passed on March 1st. And still, the chairman cannot tell us, Bahamians, whether or not everybody complied with the law. And I find that to be troubling as well. I mean, this is so frustrating. Things that should be simple. Now, we're talking about members of parliament. We're talking about senators. Apparently, we're talking about senior public officials, so that would include permanent secretaries. And you can't tell us if the senior-most people in our government have complied with the law. Like, where are we living? What are we doing? What are we doing? And the fact that there seems to be just a la-di-da, don't ask any questions kind of attitude going on. I know that the leader of the Free National Movement said that he would publicly disclose the lists.
But hold on. Here you have bully boy tactics again now by Mr. Fred Mitchell, wearing the chairman hat of the PRP. And I quote in an article with one of the dailies, Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Fred Mitchell dismissed opposition leader Michael Pintard's threat to publish the names of public officials who failed to meet the March 1st financial disclosure deadline, warning the FM leader to, and I quote, be careful what you do and what you say, while accusing him of getting matters almost always wrong. This is a free country, and the leader of the opposition does not have to threaten anyone. He said, hold on, who threatens more people from a keyboard warrior behind a keyboard like Mr. Fred Mitchell? I mean, no, you are a hypocrite, sir, because you rain threats, you rain vulgarities, you rain insults at people, and then when they stand up and give it back to you, you fold up and play the victim role with your knickers in a bunch. What kind of man are you, man?
This whole thing about the disclosures and about, the leader of the Free National Movement saying that he will publicly disclose, and then instead of the governing party responding by quickly releasing the information to show that they're on top of it, they're competent, they know what they're doing, they're ensuring that the law is followed. You get, be careful what you say, be careful what you do. I mean, this is getting to be a lot. And like I said, to this point, I am not attributing any of this to malice. I'm attributing it to incompetence, which we're seeing on a daily basis now, bright and bold. But at some point, Bahamians will stop and have to ask themselves, what is the intent behind the way that this particular government is moving right now?
Cheaper Pintard released everything because we get no answers from this administration, so we may as well get it from somewhere.
We need it.
It's all money, and we didn't know where it was going now. You know why part of the problem is? We got a bunch of jokey leaders, MJ. That's the problem.
It's a bit much. All right, we're going to take a break here for the news. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM with Naughty and MJ. We'll be back right after the news.
They bring in carnival so they can joke around. They bring in carnival cause there's a bunch of clowns. Man, we got some jokey leaders in a jokey town. A three-ring circus, what a bunch of clowns. They're joking and they're jiving, man, they're messing around. We got some jokey leaders, what a bunch of clowns. But we got some jokey leaders in a jokey town.
'Tis the season to crunch and be merry with KFC's festive feast. Gather around the table, the laughter, and the people you love most with KFC flavor that makes every moment brighter. So whether you're here for original memes or spicy moments, gather round for the memories that truly matter. Share 8 juicy pieces of your favorite KFC chicken with 4 buttery biscuits and make it extra festive with your favorite sides. Make moments full of flavor, not dish duty. KFC, it's finger licking good.
This holiday season, come to John's on Rosetta Street, Arkamika Road for all your footwear and fashion needs, where we've got you and the family covered. Shoes, bags, jewelry, clothes, and even home appliances. John's has everything you need for work, church, play, or the party in your life. John's has Skechers, Steve Madden, New Balance, Nautica, Hey Dude, Patrick Ewing, and other trusted brands. A John's gift card is the perfect gift. So come on into John's and start your holidays off on the right foot. Merry Christmas, Bahamas!
What's on your wish list this year?
A family staycation.
A shopping spree.
Surprise me.
'Tis the season of surprises. You could win a tech bundle, family staycation, US $1,000 cashback, or US $500 Amazon voucher. Simply use your CIBC Caribbean Visa credit card or Visa debit card for a minimum spend of US $100 or more. Learn more at www.cibccaribbean.com. Terms and conditions apply.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Listen to me. Hold on. I was in my head coming into the break. I'm singing this same song in my head out of the Christmas. I said, boy, Mama, make you Johnny Cake. Gotta come on, boy. Let that down again, boy. You see how this thing go?
Mama, make the Johnny Cake Christmas coming. Mama, make the Johnny Cake Christmas coming.
That sound like my good brethren, Funky D. Yeah, that's funky.
Christmas coming. Christmas coming. Mama, make the Johnny Cake. New Year's coming. Mama, make the Johnny Cake. New Year's coming.
MJ,
New Year's coming.
Time to try it.
MJ, make the Johnny Cake Christmas coming.
This is really the best time of year. I just love this time of year. It's so good, you know. Good stuff.
Man, listen, and nothing like hearing Bahamian Christmas carols too, you know.
Yeah, it's the best.
You know?
And Junkanoo. We can talk about Junkanoo in a little bit.
And we got special guest tomorrow, Mr. Toby Austin from the Saxon Superstars.
In your belly.
And other parts of your on your body as well, too.
Yeah, don't do it. So before the break, we were talking about, you know, the lack of disclosure, potentially, of some of our members of parliament as well as senior officials. And I know that, yes, the leader of the Free National Movement, Mr. Pintard, does want to be very, he wants to be transparent on this issue. And this is one of the things that the opposition has the potential to, offer us transparency where the government failed. I know that it probably won't be in the public domain. It's probably something that's going to be tabled in Parliament. So, and I also know that there was some subsequent deadline of December 31st for persons to get. So I implore all of our elected officials, our appointed officials, as well as our senior public officials, get it together, get those disclosures in. You don't go back to the House until next year, I think mid-January or maybe early January. You got a little bit of time. Get it together. Get those disclosures in, because honestly, not filing your disclosures, that's unacceptable. And if it comes that we get into January, they're back in the House sitting up there like, oh, everything cool, y'all stop talking about that. I hope that Mr. Pintard does go ahead at that point and just table it, and let us know exactly what's what.
And you gotta, I'll personally say this. I tip my hat to Mr. Pintard in this regard for one reason. When you operating with no Freedom of Information Act, no Procurement Act,
the Attorney General telling public servants they don't have to testify in front of the PAC.
Come on.
This is...
They've used every cheat code in the book
to fix.
And he's still in the game. And guess what? If they continue that way, I support drop it in the House. Use the privilege, drop it in the House.
By the way, I meant to mention this because you mentioned our Minister of Foreign Affairs right before the break. And I did get to see, because I was watching them debate the smuggling of migrants bill, and I did get to see an exchange between Mr. Mitchell and the Member of Parliament for St. Anne's, Mr. Adrian White. And can we all agree that calling someone's wife a galling is actually despicable?
Especially when you favor galling yourself, Mr. Mitchell. You look like an old galling, an old pond-dwelling galling.
Bahamians don't agree on a lot of things, but can this be one of the things that we agree on? Just like a couple of years ago, we didn't necessarily agree with some of the policies of the Christie administration, but there were some things put out there about his family that were disgusting. And, I didn't personally like the lengths, and we'll talk about criminal libel as well in a couple of minutes, but we agreed that kind of stuff is, below the belt, over the line, not good. How does Mr. Mitchell, how does he look at himself in the mirror? When you stand up there and unprovoked, a woman who, by the way, I know our kids were in the same class together.
Correct.
Mr. White's wife is a very lovely woman, right? great person, nice person.
And I don't know where Mr. Mitchell going because
sitting down, probably waiting for her husband to make his presentation, and she gets called that disgusting name.
And I don't want Mr. Mitchell to sleep on Mr. White, because the whole of the East got Mr. Mitchell's waters running. I mean, Dr. Fox and Fox Hill, and now you got, Mr. White on your case, because I can be honest with you. Mr. White, he's a little right junglist when he's ready. He will clap back on you. And then you insult my wife, I will step on you like how Adrian White did a discarded PLP poster. That's how I do it for MJ, so I have no problem with that.
I just think that even though we're never going to all agree on everything, but calling someone's wife a disgusting name like that. And can I also say to those members of parliament that laughed when he made that comment about Mrs. White, I find your behavior disgusting as well. You didn't recognize in the moment that was over the line, that was ridiculous, or everything is just a game. Everything is just a joke. Everything is just a key.
The problem is, though.
Just a key. A member of parliament insults another member of parliament's wife, and it's a key. You all stand up and you all jump up on points of order for all kinds of foolish little small things that I think, some of it could just slide past. But you hear someone insult someone's wife who's not even in there, and it's a key. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
And here's the thing that really galls me with Mr. Mitchell's approach. He has stood up in that House and he stood up in the Senate on multiple occasions and said, if you come for me, I will give it right back to you, just as nasty as you do. I will cut you down. That's not very threatening to me. I will cut you down.
I think
But then when the roles are reversed and somebody fires a shot back at his bow, a crack joke on him, and there's plenty material to work with, he gets all in his feelings, plays the victim role, and now you shouldn't say no. As Mr. Mitchell, if you know you look like an old Garland, which you do, why are you calling anybody wife or Garland? Now, you don't have no wife. You don't know what that gets set off. And at the end of the day, if a man decides to stand up and defend his wife, you got yourself a problem, because if you call MJ or Garland, I come in to find you in Fox Hill.
I just think we could do better.
And we're going to have a talk.
I think we could do, we could have some higher level politics, and this ain't it.
This ain't it?
This ain't it.
And to encourage, you know what else is Garland do? No pun intended. The PLP gives their trolls, their mindless trolls, marching orders to, if you got something to say against this party, they send them out on character assassinations, character attacks, lies, libelous slander, and they encourage that.
So you brought up slander, which brings me to my next point. And I want to be really
You see that segue? Give me a dap on that one. That's a strong professional segue right there.
On this, because I do believe that it is wrong to just go out there creating all sorts of lies about people, be they everyday Joes or be they politicians. I think that that's wrong. I think that there should be civil penalties for when you go out there and make up lies about people out of whole cloth and go ahead and blast it on social media, blast it all over WhatsApp, destroying people's reputations, creating tension in their families and their relationships, and all of this for what? For whatever means or ends you have. I think that is wrong. But I have to tell you, and I hope that...
And you got to be careful, because it's true, when you deal with those kind of situations, disclosure is always right around the corner.
I think that...
And I mean, all the ish can come out and hit the fan.
I do think that, though, we need to do something about updating our libel laws. I know that there's, a particular case that's making a lot of news on social media about one particular kind of political commentator, as well as, activists being arrested. Some are tying it to perhaps statements that would have been made. I have no idea about the veracity of any of those statements. I can't defend the statements. I understand that when you do make false statements about people, there are consequences, and there should be consequences, right? But I just want to comment on this idea of still having criminal libel laws in 2025. We need to have some reform. Libel laws should be limited to civil, because in this day and age, I don't think that people should lose their liberty over words. And that's the same conclusion that the UK came to. They eliminated criminal libel in 2009. Most of the Caribbean has done the same. Those who haven't straight out eliminated it have, kind of neutralized it, or they just don't enforce it. They make those laws dormant. If we're still doing that in 2025, then that is another law that probably needs to be reformed. And I'll tell you why. The whole point of criminal libel laws, they were invented in a time when when the state acted as the protector of reputations, right? They were put in place, and if we're being real about it, they were put in place to kind of protect elites and the powerful. And so they threaten your liberty, not just, we're going to find you, we're going to strip you of every penny you ever made, because that's how egregious this false statement that you made is. But it went even further. We're going to take your liberty. That's a colonial era law. Look around the Caribbean, look around the world. Most people do not have criminal libel still on the books. And I must reiterate, I do not agree. And we've had it happen to us. I don't agree with people going out there lying. And we know there are trolls out there and they love to lie. And yes, they should be held responsible. But it should be in a civil suit, not where you involve the whole arm of the state. Because not only does that say to us, and not only does that say to many other people, okay, you're going to be punished for saying something wrong, it's saying we're going to take away your freedom. And that has a chilling effect on even honest people who want to make honest commentary. Because now you're so worried that the arms of the state will be used against you in something that you say that it's worrisome. So I know that we're not there yet, and I hope we get there. But I do want our leaders to consider removing, look around the world, look around the region, removing criminal libel off our books. I know it's not used a lot, but the fact is it's still used in this country. We've heard about a couple of cases recently, and I don't think that should be the case.
And I don't want people to be put off. I mean, you should look at the law, obviously, but if you want to make a statement as a Bahamian, look at the laws, but don't be afraid to put off to speak your mind.
No, but it has a chilling effect. And this is what the UK courts recognize over a decade ago, 2009. They pulled that off the books. It has a chilling effect.
Somebody said that it's akin to like voter suppression. Like obviously, if they hear that you're saying something against this administration, now they're going to come with the attacks and the verbal abuse and so on and so forth. That actually makes people disenfranchised with the whole voting process and being involved in politics.
It's really hard when you're afraid to speak your mind. And I know that we have some constitutional protections built in, but even the act of having to go to court and get a lawyer, and you're not just defending yourself against a suit or a monetary loss, or maybe where you have to apologize, retract, all these other things, but your actual freedom, I don't think in 2025 that should be something that's still on the books. But I would say to the trolls out there and to the liars and the defamers that, yeah, it's about time some of you are held responsible
for the absolute foolishness and the lies that you spew.
Some of the stuff on social media is absolutely ridiculous.
I just want to, reiterate that, personally, I'm never going to be dissuaded from speaking my mind. I know MJ is going to speak her mind. But me personally, I'll be honest with you. If you think that the bully boy tactics and the suppression got me any kind of way, I just want to remind you all of this right here. Play the Val Kilmer for me.
I'm your huckleberry.
I think
and never forget that
there are legitimate reasons for people to sue others for defamation. Some of these statements you see social media, like it's a cesspool sometimes.
You've some of it deserves thrown, in my direction. That
politicians
not even close
don't
to being
usually do it because they're held to a higher standard, at least according to the UK courts, to prove that there was reputational damage. I mean, if people talking about it with you all the time, you're gonna have a hard time saying this little statement made things any bit worse, incrementally worse for you. But to me, the fundamental problem I say still is that criminal libel has a chilling effect, and it also distorts the balance of power. When you're using the machinery of the state to take someone's freedom because of words, that the UK courts have determined is disproportionate. And that is disproportionate.
And another side to that coin, in 2025, with social media, the internet, and all of that, with information readily available, it's a slippery slope because somebody one day is going to buck up on the right one with all the files and all the information. And when you hit disclosure, it's all going to come out.
By the way, I can't speak to the veracity of these statements. I make no claim to because I know some people lie a lot and they go out there and lie on people's names.
And love to do it on social media.
And love to do it on social media. Love to put it out there. And if you go out there and you lie on people and they sue you down to your underwear, they sue you down to the skin of your teeth, well, then that's a consequence of being an adult in society who has free choice and freedom to speak, but understanding that comes with consequences. However, the criminal part of it, the ability to take someone's freedom part of it, I vehemently oppose that. All right, the lies are
there's also the other option too, the old school option is somebody just rolling up on you and giving you a 2 or 3 piece, maybe even a 5 piece if you're lucky.
Call someone right for
or extra spicy on that one. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Yeah, bless up, Naughty and MJ.
Hey, what's going on, 52?
Yeah, MJ, thanks for enlightening me as to the criminal libel arc or whatever still being carried out. Yeah, you know, we'll always be in the dark ages, but I want to share this because I think Aaron and CA had brought up the same topic this morning. So, of course, there's censorship, but, you know, of course, there are pros and cons to social media, right?
Of course, yes. I mean, of course there are. But we
must also celebrate the pros because otherwise we'll be in the dark ages. It's like trying to suppress the Bible being printed and killing of Sir William Tyndale and John Huss, etc., etc.
Yep.
All right, yeah. So 52 is no. Man, listen, I know a lot of things, you know. But let me tell you something. I would like to counter this particular narrative because during the pandemic we saw where status quo people, scientists alike and pundits alike. I don't know if you guys heard me. I was bold enough to have conversations with Dr. Onkar Chetty, Dr. Peter McCullough, mRNA scientist on the radio, and with boldly speaking science, right?
Yeah.
As a non-funded. So
which
I don't be intimidated by people. What I'm saying is, I like to counter this now in the fact that what happens when pharmaceutical companies and people put out information that is known to be incorrect and that is out there on social media, and then common sense can be applied without you even knowing the intricacies of the science or molecular events.
You have a right to speak your opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. I encourage that. I want more people to speak. I want more people.
Because nobody paid the price. We saw that Joe Biden, pardon Dr. Fauci, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what I mean when I say status quo biases and status quo narratives. They will continue to drive the order of the day. But there's only consequences for the average citizen. You're saying criminal libel. Yeah, but slander. What about medical and metabolic fallout as a result of misinformation by changing mercury into the name of thimerosal, et cetera, and putting them in vaccines and lying to the public?
Oh, boy, you get it.
Life is based on mass deception, not being rude, MJ, but just take a look at it. If you really believe governments, then you haven't looked at the Iron Mountain report that I was begging you to do because I want you to opine on it.
I have that on my list, I promise.
You have to look at it. It's a blueprint for tyranny, and it's basically a panopticon they're going to create and they are creating.
Right, and you know what? To that point, that is why I feel like libel and slander and all those things, having civil remedies is the best course of action. When you start threatening people's freedom over words, we have a problem. I just fundamentally disagree with that, and it's outdated.
MJ, not cutting you off, I'm sorry, but
go ahead.
In listening to you, these are the thoughts that came to my mind. So they're talking about slander and liability and reputation and profiling an image to the public. When I'm talking about scientific fallout as a result of misinformation and status quo bias, we were told that the vaccines could work. They produce immunity. We are told that you couldn't transmit it. And we also were denied natural immunity, which also is immunity. And you had people and pundits on the radio telling us that vaccines and immunization are the same, when factually they are not. And I'm willing to go to some things like just willing to go all out with people. Even as it relates to carbon science, the government running a narrative, we see where they're burning and cutting down coal. They've been saying, Lincoln been saying that nobody would be saying that they would accept. This is what they're doing. They're burning and cutting down the trees and burning coal, and coal kills. We've seen it over and over. People saying that the guy called from Freeport, they was getting sick, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody cares.
We've heard all them reports.
Life is based on deception. Give thanks.
Good stuff.
Thank you,
52. Appreciate your points as always. Let's get to these other calls. Talking Heads.
Hey, good afternoon, Naughty and your wife.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Listen.
This is Mitch. What's going on, Mitch?
Everything good. You can't just willy-nilly defame person's character.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me just finish my point.
Go ahead.
You cannot just willy-nilly publicly defame person's character, right? Especially when they're married and have kids, okay? It is wrong.
So who said it isn't wrong?
No, but you're saying you want that law off the book of criminal
I said that there should be civil remedies, not criminal remedies, okay?
MJ, there are civil remedies
Correct.
for libel.
Correct.
The criminal libel is when you take it to the extent, okay?
No, that's a judgment call, and the UK courts have already ruled on this. They've repealed criminal libel, so we're an outlier. I'm not saying that the law doesn't exist, so that they have that pathway, but we're an outlier. Jamaica repealed it. Grenada repealed it. Antigua and Barbuda repealed it. St. Lucia repealed it. Dominica, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados,
Let me ask
Guyana,
this question. Mitch, let me ask you a question.
We're an outlier. It's an antiquated idea.
Mitch, if I'm not mistaken, haven't you been carried to task in the chat groups where you actually took people to court because they libeled you and slandered you, especially playing a voice note with your wife saying something derogatory toward you? And then second of all, haven't you been held up on and brought up,
on criminal libel, and I won my case.
Right. Okay.
Because I had the evidence to prove that I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, so we fundamentally
hold on.
No, you hang on. We fundamentally disagree. You say that you think criminal libel should still be on the books, and I say that taking someone's freedom over words is not appropriate in 2025. I say that we have other remedies. We have civil remedies where you could sue them. You could ask for monetary compensation. You can ask for retractions. You can ask for apologies. You can ask for so many other things. This is not a new idea. This is not MJ saying, okay, let's just let everybody say what they want to say. As a matter of fact, I'm saying the exact opposite. I'm saying that persons should be responsible and held responsible. There should be consequences if they say things that are untrue and if they damage people's reputation. However, I do not believe, as have many other jurisdictions, including the United States, including the United Kingdom, where our Privy Council is located, I do not believe that people should lose their freedom over words. Next caller.
And the irony, before we get to the next one, the irony of it is, Mitch done been guilty of this in the chat groups plenty of times. The only reason why me personally, I didn't go after Mitch for some of the slander he put on me, he's a PLP troll and I know they broke. So ain't nothing for me to win out of that. Let's go to the other course. Talking heads.
Not in MJ.
Hey.
I'm sorry to call back.
Go ahead. Make it fast,
That
Jeff.
conversation just now was laughable. Okay?
The irony, hey, Jeff, because you've been privy to some of them groups before too, right? The irony.
There's two things that come to mind right now. And they say most of the things that happen, especially in the general populace, is when leadership does the exact same thing and they seem to get away with it. Look at the foolishness inside Parliament, for instance.
Where they have privilege.
But they talk about parliamentary
Privilege, right.
But didn't you do the same thing to these some of the people in Parliament, and then you had to come back and retract it? But guess what? Retracting it does not erase the evidence that what you did and what you said is not out in the public domain. It does not erase that.
Right.
But it's done in our Parliament. And then, as you so rightfully said, Naughty, in these same groups, right now they're going after this young lady. And we all know who the young lady is. But what she has done, some of the same pundits on their side is doing the same thing to other people in these groups. So what makes your deed worse or better than the other person? You cannot be a hypocrite. And that's one of the reasons why I do not participate in the groups anymore, because what I see in these groups is not a unification of the Bahamian people across the political divide. It is a constant division where one party is put against the next party and one is trying to get one up on the other person using any means necessary to destroy that person. And yet, mum's the word when it's on that side, but when it comes back on your side, then it's a problem. It's shameful. But you see, a person like me, in closing, I always stand up for truth, righteousness, and justice. And the thing is, I would stand on the side and listen and watch the whole landscape of people doing every myriad of things that they say the other party is doing or persons from the other party is doing, and they're doing the exact same thing. And their leaders apparently aren't calling them in to tell them to cease and desist. That's the part that really bugs me.
Good
Thank
stuff,
you
Jeff.
so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Criminal libel is something that we inherited, but it's being democratically contested in nations that have looked at this and made the reforms. I listed off many nations that have not only repealed it, but some of them have neutralized it because it's not about any particular case, guys. It's about the idea of the ability to remove someone's freedom in 2025 over speech and the fact that it has a chilling effect on political speech. When I balance the two, and this is my opinion, when I balance the two, I lean in favor of what the UK government has done, what the UK courts have said, which is that it should be civil.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. Let Mr. Producer check the cable TV feed. I can't get it on cable TV, but I'm listening in my vehicle and it's loud and clear.
Okay, will do. Texture, thank you.
Naughty and MJ, I think the government is happy letting foreigners robbing us and taking advantage of us because they are pro-foreign, because they are foreign also. It's this bad. I went before a judge and my tenant who lived for months free, burning 9,000 kilowatts, by the way, AC every day, and destroyed my apartment, blurted out she's victimized me because she victimized me because I'm Haitian. I was then not given a chance to talk, put out of court, and never got a red cent for winning the case. Foreigners are helping foreigners.
Ooh. That is...
Wow, if that is the case...
Sound. We got a lot of callers
Let me get a couple of these texts out and then we'll get right to the call line. Hi, Naughty and MJ. I'm just as disturbed as Jeff. We are jokers. I'm hoping these voters show up and vote these people out. I do not know if we're not abused enough with our consent. Some of us are conks, so we feel good when we are lied to. My vote only value maybe a turkey or ham, especially in Lizzie. He called Mr. White's wife a name, and the speaker never gave him wrong.
Yeah, I do think that the speaker missed an opportunity to say clearly and on the record that, you know, when you reach for persons outside of the house, particularly, and you're talking about somebody's spouse, that was completely inappropriate and that it shouldn't happen again.
Naughty and MJ, the problem with Mr. Mitchell, he can't take hard criticism. He loves to criticize. If he can't take the criticism, he's folded up like a prissy. And he called Mr. White's wife a Garland. You see what I mean? Those PLP ladies sat in the house and said nothing. They just sat there laughing and cackling like a bunch of hens. And they always talking about women's rights. They only pretend they are a farce.
I didn't like it. I think it was unfortunate. I know Mr. Mitchell does things like that from time to time. And a lot of times we just like... Yeah, well, you know, that's him being him. But I do think that there are certain lines that you shouldn't cross, and that was one of them. I'm disappointed in the members that laughed too. Like, y'all serious? Y'all think that's funny?
Let's get to the phone lines. Talking heads.
Naughty, my brother, how you doing?
What's happening?
Well, let me say something to you so that you could have a good afternoon. You have that beautiful swan with you, very intelligent. And you should really spend some money and let her do her law degree. She's a very intelligent woman, boy. I'm telling you. I listen to you all every day. Very intelligent woman you got there.
Thank you, sir. I am blessed in more ways than one. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And you have a very, very Merry Christmas, caller. We appreciate you. Thanks.
Notice we've been using birds today and it's gone from Garland to Hans to Swan. I love it. I love it. I love it. With Mr. Mitchell being the Garland, though.
Talking heads.
Yes, I call back again, Madam MJ Swan of Guardian Radio. Just to address that PLP voucher from Foxhill, right? I listened to that exchange when he was in the House the other day. He lied about nobody contested the people applying for citizenship, and the Minister of Immigration, nor the former Minister of Immigration, Pete Bell, both of them who sat in that house at that debate did not correct him on the record. You see, what we have to do is just not listen to what they have to say, because like KB said, you know, just hear me. My name is Fred in that song. You know what I mean, Naughty? Sweet potato bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even make me bald my head just for a taste of your sweet potato bread.
Oh,
that
boy.
one right there. Line up sweet potato bread, KB. Thank you very much.
My name is Fred Mitchell.
Have a good one.
Go and sit no more.
Merry Christmas to
the
you
talking
too.
glass could try to get us in problems.
Yeah, I just think, and I recognize that we have inherited a lot of laws, and then it's only when something comes up you say, "Oh my goodness, that one's still on the books. Like we haven't fixed that." But I want our leaders to look around the region and look at how they've cured some of these older, outdated, antiquated laws. And I want them to, just look at it. I think criminal libel, personally, that should be off the table. Civil penalties, absolutely. I just think that in cases like this, especially in this modern era, we should be more concerned about democracy. And if something like that has a chilling effect on democracy, it is something that, and freedom of speech, it is something that we need to look at carefully. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM with Naughty and yours truly, Mary Jane. We will be right back.
Fresh, don't want no flaky crust. Y'all, I don't need no cherries, but the cream is a must. Y'all, you hear me? Yeah. The hungry must be fed. Give me just a taste of your sweet potato bread. I'll swim the deepest ocean. I'll even bald my head just to get a taste of your sweet potato bread.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career today and step into a world of exciting possibilities.
The wait is over. The all-electric Geely Radara pickup is back at Easy Car Sales. Choose from 5 all-new 2026 models, complete with dual cab comfort, impressive cargo space, great towing ability, and tech features straight from the future. The perfect pickup for both work and play is 100% electric elegance, complete with factory warranty. Schedule your test drive of the truck that's built for the Bahamas by visiting easy242.com or call 461-0100.
Flame Grill tastes better. And to Burger King Nassau, you'll see our legendary Whopper with cheese is made with 100% flame grilled beef for that juicy and smoky barbecue flavor you love. Topped with fresh ingredients and nestled in an even fluffier bun. And right now, enjoy BK's Whopper with cheese combo with fries and a drink for just $9, including that. The King gives more food and more flavor for an unbeatable price. Taste the flame grill difference at any of Burger King's 7 locations in Nassau.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Check this. I like it while it's soft, piping hot right off the pan. I put the jam on it and I eat it right out of my hand. I eat it all up. Yeah, I ain't scared. 'Cause ain't nothing sweeter than buying baked potato bread. I like them bread with a lot of yeast. Make them reach up to the sky. If I can't eat all the bread, I'm gonna give it that college try. 'Cause when I eat
Hey, you see why my boy Kirkland Bodie KB is the best of the best. Is the bestest.
I tell ya.
Boy, shout out to KB, man. Shout out to all my Bahamian artists, but let me tell you, man, there's only one KB.
I ain't gonna lie, like seasons like this, I mean, I just love listening to Bahamian artists. Like, we're so talented.
And to see the reception that these artists are getting now, I'm hoping we could be on the cusp of a new wave of getting Bahamian artists out there, getting them into the properties, elevating the orange economy, letting them entertain guests and tourists and so on and so forth. Make a way, man. Make a way for them.
I keep saying, remember, they do say that the reason that empires fall is a failure of imagination. So all of my creative people out there, just keep doing what you're doing. We love your contribution to building up this Bahamas.
Let's go to the phone lines real quick, then I'll get to the text. Talking Heads.
Yes. Good evening. Hello, Bahamas. I hear y'all having some very valid points on this show, but I think nobody is really debating or relating or concerned about the real issues that we are facing here in the Bahamas. Number one, we all bigging up what this one is doing, what that one is doing. That's okay. Me as a Bahamian citizen, I have an issue here, right? As Bahamians, you rallying up for these government leaders, and you're still making minimum wage pay. You got the Caribbean cruise just open up here in the Bahamas. The people are going to suffer now that go down and do the little Bahamian craft items. What is the true debate here in the Bahamas from when the tourism minister, Chester Kuba, come on, but look like a Haitian? I judge you no.
Wait, no, hang on. All right, drop that caller, Mr. Producer.
Listen, whether you agree with this administration or not, you cannot fire insults. And we know that we just finished talking about.
We know that you
insults.
meant that term Haitian as a pejorative. It shouldn't be a pejorative, right? The Haitians are people. They're our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean. We have major problems with them and immigration and with them coming in large numbers. That's a legitimate concern. But you're not going to come on this show and fire insults at the Deputy Prime Minister and use the word Haitian as a pejorative, okay? We don't need that kind of talking head because you sound like you ain't got a good head. So, yeah.
Now, if you catch yourself, cool off and can come back and present your points without flinging insults and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's not acceptable,
but
caller.
You can't let that fly, man.
All right, talking heads.
Greetings.
Hey, season's greetings.
San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks in the 2025 Finals Cup.
Talk it, Muff. Talk it. Let them know.
After throwing out a 24 in one team.
You see that, right?
After kicking out the LA Lakers.
We beat
without Yambi.
Without Wemby.
You see why you shouldn't give certain people Christmas present?
But MJ, you see, you speaking that little piece on the end of the show Friday, but you see, Ellsworth Johnson was on fire. You see, you couldn't get it. He tell you to the start of the show, slip it in, but he ain't let you get it into the end of the show, because I got to let you get it in now.
I love watching what we did. I was so happy, and you're right. You know, Shay Gilgis and the rest of the crew, they've been performing really well. We've been having a harder road because we haven't had Wemby. He's been out for a while. But
he come back right in time.
Still coming, and he's coming back slowly because he played limited minutes the other day. But you see what we did, right, Muff? Like, you saw that, right?
Well, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, big game.
Okay.
Bronson, I know what y'all could do with Bronson.
I know
what y'all could do with Towns.
It could be rough.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me just interject this in there. Since you look like you rooting for the next little bit, Eastern Conference.
You know, I don't like the Spurs. You know, I agree with them.
Vassal, Castle, De'Aaron Fox, Wemby,
Harrison Barnes.
Listen, man, and you heard me talk about them on the show. I hate to talk about them like this because it hurts my leg heart. But I know when you have a rival, and you know when that rival coming, you could see him on horizon. You see him in the distance, and I saw them couple of years ago with a big 7'4" or 5" dude. I said, boy, there's problems now. They got this Wemby. Then they added good draft picks year after year after year. They've kind of put together a team that's going to mirror that old school Spur team with Ginobili and Parker and Duncan and all those pieces that interchange. And Popovich may not be coaching, but he's up there in the front office. He's got an influence on the team. Watch out. This is a young team. It's paid for. They're going to have no contract issues for a while. They've done their homework.
Reset.
This going to be a nasty squad for a while. Trust me.
But Naughty, hard to close them now. Hard to shut them down with that defensive pressure.
I kind of, when I think of Josh Hart, then I also think of Lonzo Ball, and I also think of Julius Randle, and then I also think of Brandon Ingram, and then I also think of Kyle Kuzma, then I also think of Alex Caruso. Oh, what's the common denominator? All of them pieces was traded today because some petulant prima donna showed up and said, I want my boy Russell Westbrook on the team, only to throw him under the bus like he did Dwayne Wade before him and Chris Bosh before him.
And Anthony Davis after
him. So, yeah.
But But Nutty, don't feel bad, man. That young rookie do the same thing to Baltimore and Lamar Jackson and the first week and thing. So we can make up for that tonight. You know, my neighbor say that's good for Nutty. They lose, but I can make up for tonight. I can get
What you be telling your neighbor?
Listen.
Yeah, you know he's a big Pittsburgh fan.
Hold on a second.
So bad, but they're Pittsburgh. So, you know,
Hold on a second.
They always getting on Nutty case.
And I can keep talking bad about them. And here's why. You know and I know from week 7 or 8 when we were 2-5-1. I said, listen, ain't nothing happening for the Cowboys. We made the trades, and when we made the trades, I said, listen, this is predicated on next year, the year after, and the year after that. But forgive me if, you know, taking a page out of my good friend Stephen A. Smith book, let me throw something out there and see if it'll stick. And they was looking good up until last night to try and make me look good with my prediction. But obviously, back to what we talked about. We have pieces in place to build around the defense, but the defensive coordinator, Eberflus, got to go. We need to gut the entire defensive room, except for the pieces that we traded for, Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and a few other pieces. Use the draft picks to rebuild the defense and get a defensive coordinator, a young hotshot coordinator. I absolutely think Flores is the man in Minnesota. I would love for him to be the defensive coordinator in Dallas. Even if you got to make him assistant.
In the last 6 games, man. Your offense look good, man. I know what happened the first 6 games.
Look, we got 8 games. We got a chance to finish 6-2 in the last 8 games. It's something for us to build on. I personally feel like, hey, if we made the playoffs this year, it was going to be one and done with that defense that we got. But we could retool, reload, and have something to build on moving forward. I think Shotty's going to learn from some of his first-year mistakes, but he did a good job. You said the offense is clicking. So the future's bright in Dallas. Now in Pittsburgh, where I can get on them, they ain't going to win the division. Baltimore will win that division. And look at the Pittsburgh team. They got long in the tooth everywhere.
They get beat tonight. But let me close with this. Sorry, Dwight and Marvin, Big Chief Smith, next year for y'all. Speedy recovery for Patrick Mahomes. Speedy recovery for your boy Micah Parsons. Speedy recovery, Micah Parsons. Speedy recovery for Dante Adams and everything.
You mean Micah, that dude that Green Bay got to pay $47 million with his torn ACL?
A lot of torn ACLs this weekend.
I wish Micah speedy recovery. I'll never wish malice on any player.
That's true. Yeah,
but as a Cowboy, I sit here and say, boy, that could have been us paying $47 million for nothing. Because he's going to go. Look what he tore the ACL. Look what he tore.
And Ricardo Wells, come on, man. At 21-0?
Listen.
When you let Josh Allen do that to you?
No, listen, I could be honest with you. I give 10-year seniors mad props on coverage of Bahamian sports. They could find a Bahamian right now in Arkansas somewhere shooting a free throw. I ain't got no problem with them, how they cover local athletes. But then you say the Chicago Bears, the Cleveland Browns going to beat the Chicago Bears. And then you turn around and talk about the Patriots beating the Bears. I told you. The Patriots are on the rise, but they're playing that 4th-place schedule. Their quality of opponents has been something like 55-88. You got to watch them mature, see who they really are. As far as my boy Nut making that prediction, Cleveland beating Chicago, you can only be a nut. But you're still my boy because I went to school with your uncle. Shout out to Niven. All right? But great job with the local coverage, fellas, but step up your game and then pick Cleveland over Chicago. What you was drinking?
Let's go to the text lines. We have so many texts, and we love our texters as well.
All right, we need a rebranding, redirection, diversification, innovation, and leaders who truly care about Bahamians and want to see us grow and achieve much, much more.
Yeah.
Hi, Naughty and MJ. Can you all guest on Saturday morning show with those young people? They need some more perspective. Listen, they do that show the way they do that show. We do our show the way we do our show. I don't want anybody ever telling me how to do our show because that could be.
See, did he say young people?
Yeah.
Yeah, just give them time. Doing good work, it all comes with time.
Naughty and MJ, the biggest scandal in the country is the lie that the hotel in Freeport was sold. There's no money to show. Staff aren't being paid and the hotel utilities are being disconnected. I seriously wish we had real investigative journalists in our country, but they were all prostituted for nice government jobs.
Well, we won't say that.
We won't say that.
We won't say that. I think that's a bit harsh.
If anybody ever decides to make a move career-wise and it's greener pastures for them and they feel it's better, I will never tell them not to do it.
We won't say that. But, I get it.
Especially as any upward moves as I've made in my career.
I get the point, but I mean, it's so if we had freedom of information properly enacted, right? The ability to get some of this information in a timely manner and quickly, you know, and when I discussed this with the folks over there at org, you know, best practices, if we got it implemented fully and funded fully, governments that do this sort of become proactive in releasing the information. So they don't have to process 20,000 requests. They say, okay, this is this time of year. Here's all of the information. There you go. So it's kind of a system that helps itself get better. But we don't have that yet. As for the investigative journalists, yes, that's, Wood Country wouldn't need more, especially when you're always trying to deal with getting information from your government. But, you know, resources, time, and yes, there was a little bit of poaching done by the OPM. So, yeah, we were working on it. Fourth Estate, we're working on it.
Not in MJ, the turkey and ham given on Windsor Park. I saw a Bahamian guy who got into a verbal exchange saying there were too many foreign migrants out there and Bahamians weren't getting served. Naughty and MJ, remember, some men don't like women. They jealous of women. That might be Mr. Mitchell's problem.
This is. I'm hoping that you know the MPs Lord. And you know the organizations that are giving out free ham and turkey. Kudos to you. This is good stuff. All of the Christmas gifts and stuff, good stuff. But please do it as equitably as you can, because someone always going to complain, right? Someone always going to complain, but you do want to do it as fairly as you can, because there are a lot of people out there that want that ham and want that turkey. You know how expensive ham and turkey is in the food store? Like, listen, I could use a free one myself.
Y'all Texas, I know what y'all trying to do. Some of y'all trying to jinx me. Like, we could try this out there. Naughty, if he got on his comedian hat, he could say no. But I can read some of it anyway.
Read all of
I can edit some of this. So me and MJ don't get in trouble. Where are we headed? First, no freedom of information. Now, no freedom of speech. Everyone would be in court if we sued everyone who speaks ill about you. And Fred Mitchell thinks all women, even the ones who look like Beyonce, are Gollum because.
Yeah, let's normalize. Even you don't call him a Gollum. Let's normalize not calling people like nasty names if you don't.
That's a good one here. Hey, Naughty and MJ.
Let's normalize not calling people nasty names.
Hey, Naughty and MJ, how come the Punch had never been successfully sued for over 30 plus years? I'll be honest with you.
You could tell him why.
Because Ivan walked tall with a big stick, and Ivan had all the files on everybody, and Ivan wanted you to sue him because if he did, he would disclose and he would put his money where his mouth is because he had the backup to the story. So if Ivan put something in the Punch, Ivan had your files. So that means if you wanted to sue Ivan would say, okay, let's go to court, and now I'm going to disclose everything.
Yeah, discovery is
and Ivan, guess what? Ivan was fearless when it came to leadership. He was respectful, but he was fearless. He wouldn't be bullied or bogarted into an opinion by a government. He held leaders accountable. He may not have had the specific ways, methods, and means that everybody liked, but by damn, it was effective.
Yeah.
And the Punch is missed. And the fact that, you know, people have tried to suppress the Punch coming back and you know, all of that kind of stuff. Because there's been a myriad of people bringing it back and you see some knockoff versions of it out there. There will only ever be one Punch. Ivan Johnson's Punch. And Ivan brought it like nobody else could bring it. And yeah, you might not have liked the way he brought it. But then again, you know what they say about the truth. The truth hurts sometimes when you expose the files out there and you got the files to back it up. You don't like that kind of individual.
Real Fleet Street training, and he brought all of his expertise right back home here to the Bahamas. And yes, Ivan Johnson is still missed. Yes.
And to know that he was a fan of my work and my videos and MJ's work and stuff, that means a lot too, because he was brilliant at what he did. But what happened is we lacked men and women like Ivan with a little backbone and bollocks that would stand up and say and fight and say, no, we as Bahamians need better.
There are some Bahamians
and then take it to the level and expose government so they would be accountable for the foolishness they were trying to do under our noses without us knowing.
And just think accountability and transparency is too low on the totem pole, apparently, for this administration, and that definitely has to change. You see what happens, right? Like it is now at the point where maybe some persons are surprised that you dipping and dodging around this Grand Lucayan question, but a lot of people basically throw up their hands and say, yeah, that's how they go. And that doesn't bode well. When your citizens start losing confidence, even in your ability to be forthright with basic information, that bill eventually comes due.
Naughty and MJ, I feel they should go to jail because 10 times out of 10, the people doing this never have no money, so the victim will never get any justice. Apology or recanting is not punishment or consequences. People need to learn the hard way to be more responsible with their mouth. The damage done can be unrepairable.
Let's talk about that. So you take someone defames you, right? You know, some of these people say some nasty things that do cause reputational harm. And I get your point that sometimes they may not have money. But you take someone to court, you show them to be a liar. Let's say this is an habitual liar. They lying about people all the time, because I know some trolls out there, they stay lying about people all the time. You take them to court, you sue them, you find that they lied, they defamed you, and you can't get, the monetary compensation that you think is appropriate based on, the level and the lowness of the slander or libel that they levied your way. The whole point of having these kinds of laws is because they do reputational damage. But what is the damage that happens when someone is exposed time and time again as an habitual liar? You have someone that's lying all the time, been to court 10 times, everybody say, the judge says 10 times, so you lied, and they try to, enforce some sort of payment from them, but like you say, this is a brokey. You think that person's words still mean anything? You think that person could continue to damage you once it is proven time and again that they are an habitual liar? So if nobody even believes them, and sometimes I know technically it's not about whether people believe them, but if they're unable to inflict damage because their reputation is so damaged, then do you continue to be hurt by them? And I know it's hard. I know there are a lot of people out there. I see some of the stuff on social media and people lying on people all the time, telling all of these falsities. But I still maintain that in a democracy, a modern democracy, where criminal libel has the effect of chilling speech, I still believe that if you want to call it a trade-off, the trade-off is worth it. I would prefer more people be able to speak their mind freely than to have everybody afraid to speak. And sometimes in those countries where criminal libel once existed and was repealed, that was the rationale behind it.
This is a good one right here. Naughty and MJ, back in the olden days, we the peasants and serfs didn't have to worry about getting sued by the elites or leaders for defamation, libel, or slander. We had to worry about losing our heads or made to disappear to never be heard from again.
And that happened.
So what we then, the peasants and serfs, came up with was to critique those in power in using satire and jokes as court jesters, comedians, singers, and actors.
Absolutely.
And Tex, I agree with you. And guess what? I will use my comedic prowess to do what I need to do. And if you want to call me the Bahamian George Carlin, or the Bahamian Lenny Bruce, or the Bahamian Bill Maher, or the Bahamian Stephen Colbert, or the Bahamian Bill Burr, I will answer it. I will pick up that mantle because those gentlemen have inspired me, and they were had enough substance and backbone to speak out against leadership and administrations worldwide and globally, and we need more of that. And yes, we have a wonderful Orange community here, a wonderful community with creatives, very brilliant creatives. And this is the call I sending out. Uncle Naughty sending the call out. We need to unite, and we need to show this administration and future administrations the power, the true power, and the true creative talent of the Orange economy. Wake them up. Let them smell the coffee.
Imagine those people who lost their heads back in the day for speech.
Like Andre Benjamin said years ago, the South got something to say. Well, Uncle Naughty saying it today. Bahamian creatives got something to say. Listen up.
All right. I think that's it. I think we're running out of time.
I think we got everything in, man. Everybody who chimed in, texted
We didn't get Junkanoo in, but we have a very special guest tomorrow.
Toby Austin tomorrow from the Saxon Superstars, and we talking all of that.
So the Valley's the Valley now, right?
Well, we got to talk, but I don't know who the Valley is no more. Well, whoever show up getting cut skin from the Saxon regardless. So
in your belly.
What it is.
In your belly.
All right. Good stuff, man. For MJ, for Mr. Producer, everybody